Alright, we are in the Passport. Headed to Speed Factory. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Obviously, like I said, we're going to Speed Factory. I'm going to pick up my intercooler and my tucked radiator setup. I had ordered it probably about a week and a half ago, and then it's finally done, and I'm beyond stoked. When I say finally, it's not like it actually got done pretty fast. I was expecting to wait a little longer. But I'm beyond stoked to pick it up, and as you guys know, I'm not really a big fan of how my intercooler and my charge pipe is situated. It looks kind of janky. I want less couplings on it, or less couplers on it, and I want it to look neater. And it's a backdoor intercooler, so it's going to look super nice. Also, another update on just how things are going with the channel, or you know, with my car, or just life in general. I ordered a TIG welder, and yeah, I'm going to be learning how to weld, so hopefully I can get my charge pipe done. I ordered like an aluminum welding kit, like a starter kit for it, and it's going to be nice. I'm hoping I can pick up the welding quick enough so I get my intercooler on and get everything all fabricated up. It's very exciting. It's a new chapter of my car building, whatever you're going to call it, life, I guess. You know, always want to learn to weld, so I think no time like the present. One more update on the car, as you know, you guys know, especially the ones that have been following for a while, and I've picked up a ton of new subscribers. I'm very grateful for that. I broke my drive shaft, or I broke the slip joint, my stock Freeliner slip joint. Kind of a hard launch. I think I held the handbrake when I was preloading a little too long. I kind of delayed it, and then I let out the clutch. And basically, my theory is I started spinning the front wheels, but because I delayed dropping the handbrake, it locked up the back wheels, and my transfer case basically twisted my drive shaft and sheared the slip joint. So I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I did not drop the clutch, I don't think. Regardless, my 8,000 horsepower rated PFT Power Factory tuning out of Canada drive shaft will be here next Friday, and it has a heavy duty slip joint on it and 1310 joints, and that's pretty much an update on the car. We're gonna be fixing a lot of things, making the car nicer, get it ready for the summer. Now back to why I'm making this video. So last summer I had weighed the car when it was obviously front wheel drive, and it came out to 2,060 pounds with about 2 to 3 gallons of fuel in it. And I've been really curious how much weight does like converting the Honda to the all-wheel drive, how much weight does it add? My theory is it's gonna add probably anywhere between 150 to 200 pounds. I'm hoping it's on the 150 pound side, because I want the car to weigh in around 2,200 pounds, obviously without me in it, and almost dry. I don't even know how much gas is in that tank right now. If it's about a half, that's about a 9-gallon fuel cell. We're going to subtract, the amount that we need to match what was in the car before when I weighed it last summer. But as of right now, it's getting a little late in the evening, so I've got some stuff to do, like obviously, picking up stuff for Speed Factory. I got dinner to cook, and I got to get ready for work tomorrow. I wake up super early, so I got to get all that. I got to get ready for, the next day. So I'm going to be weighing the car in this video, but not the same day. Probably tomorrow or Friday. It's currently Wednesday. Yeah, buddy. Please call for entry. Dude, the VTEC in this thing cracks me up. All right, so a couple things we got to do to the car before I take it to the scale. I need to tighten up the rear diff on the back. I did loosen them because I was adjusting the pinion angle on it. So we'll just go ahead and do that. And I got to tighten up the bolts on the diff mount underneath the car. And we're going to go ahead and drop the car down. So the plan is, obviously there's a drive shaft on the car, and we're trying to find out how much weight the full all-wheel drive conversion adds to the car. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my viscous coupler right here and take my slip joint that I know is good right here and the rear shaft, and we're going to just throw it in the car as kind of a placeholder for the drive shaft, and we are going to go drive this car to get it weighed. With that said, we go ahead and tighten up that rear diff real quick, and we'll get the car prepped. And boy, do I need a haircut. Coworker said I look like Daniel Radcliffe. Don't know how true that is, but whatever, dude. Cat got out like usual. Hey, Crash. Bubba. Dude. And now you want in. This guy. Crash. Hey. Get inside. Alright, so I got it put up here so I can show you guys a closer look of the parts. So been wanting this setup for quite some time. I really love the back door style. It's just so much neater. And I needed a radiator, like I was saying, because the one that's on here, I'm just show you real quick, just a little half-size eBay. And I got this for free. I mainly got it 2 years ago, and it came out of a junkyard. And I got it to mock up mainly because how close my wastegate, I was trying to fit everything in. And I just kind of stuck with it because it worked, but there's no shroud on the fan like I was saying earlier, and this eBay fan is starting to die. So the solution is the speed factor setup. Oh shit, that I've been wanting for quite some time. Like I was saying, looks really neat. Got a nice good sized radiator this time, and we got -16 fittings on the back. This is also a -16, so it's gonna be it's a really nice addition. This, I cannot find Speed Factory's thermostat housing. They don't have it in stock, and it won't be in stock for a couple months. So I've got this PLM billet piece. It's really cool. This unscrews, so I just have to get a -16 to go on thermostat housing. And I just need some lines. And like I said, my TIG welder is on its way. Then I can go ahead and make the new charge pipe, make some brackets for here, and mount it up as high and kind of as forward I can, much as possible, because I do have that top mount. I'm hoping that everything fits fine. And to top it off, we have dual small fans, and I'm really excited about these because you hear nothing but good stuff with these fans. All right, now with that said, I'm gonna get to work, tighten up that diff. Tomorrow's Friday. I would like to drive the car to work tomorrow. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that. I'm debating if I want to do that actually. We're gonna have good weather. That way I can stop on the way home and go weigh the car. So either way, we're gonna weigh the car for sure tomorrow. All right, so I got the diff all tightened up finally. Just gonna go run the car for a few minutes because we've been having some really cold nights. Damn, dude, this is ridiculous. I need a haircut. Gonna let it idle for a little bit. Diff's all tight. Like I said, we had a few cold nights, so it'll probably be a good thing to run it. I don't even know if it's gonna start. It's been a couple weeks. All right, here we go. That's always a good sign. Got my ECU put back. Just what I was talking about when I did the coil and plug. I had the plate all undone, but I put rib nuts in it this time so I can unbolt the ECU easier, and this is a lot safer just like that versus just chilling on the ground, obviously. All right, guys, it is now the next day. I just got off work and we're headed to the scale. When I get to the scale, I gotta check to see how much fuel is in the tank, so I can kind of, throw a number out there for what the fuel weighs in this car. And other than that, it's a nice day today. Beautiful weather, nice clear skies, good day to drive this car. Maybe a little warm, just waiting on the car to warm up. Oil pressure is dropping. It's cold still, so anyway, yeah, so I'll just pick the camera back up when I get to the scale. About to pull in right now. Hopefully the scale is ready, and hopefully I don't have to wait too long. All right, so we're on the scale. I got my drive shaft and the viscous. Where the hell is it? Right there. All right, I'm gonna go inside and get get a weight. The way this works is you just drive on the scale, you go inside and you pay the 10 bucks, and you get a ticket with your weight on it that has a seal.
It is $15, but I'll get that point number.
Thank you. Okay. So the official weight, 2220. Not bad. All right, so you guys saw the official weight, and that's with like some of my stuff in here. So it's 2220. I didn't even check the fuel. Let me check the gas real quick. We got like a half a tank in there. It's about 4 or 5 gallons or so. So technically, I have more fuel in the car. Damn, this gas cap is shrinking. There we go. More fuel in the car this time. Got more fuel in the car this time, and it's showing that we gained about 160 pounds. All right, so we're gonna go home, and I'm gonna compare this time slip to show you guys, proof with the seal on it. Show you guys what the car weighed before and what it weighs with the all-wheel drive stuff, and has more fuel in it. So technically, I feel like this thing weighs about 2,200 pounds, just like what I expected. What I kind of called it. If you had the same amount of fuel, at least, as last time I weighed in the summer. So I was doing rips even on the freeway. I was going like maybe 50, 60 miles an hour. Put it in third gear with the all-wheel drive boost map on here. Apparently it's front-wheel drive. This thing is like ridiculous. I can't even control the damn car. It's too aggressive. The boost just comes in way too heavy. So obviously that's kind of how I had it set up with the all-wheel drive stuff, because I wanted the boost to be more snappy, because the car wasn't spinning. And if it wasn't snappy, it was lagging like big time, because it was actually putting that power down, and has to drag all that weight and all that drag. I can never say the word. What is it called? Parasitic drag, I guess what you would call it. And going from all-wheel drive to front-wheel drive is kind of sad, man. But we'll have this all situated hopefully in a week or so, and we'll be back to spinning all 4 wheels versus the 2. And it's tweaking right now. I think it's the heat. There it goes, stabilized. That's so weird, but anyway, she made it home. Made it home perfectly fine, and running good, pulling pretty hard. Other than the yeah, look at that damn car, dude. Other than the spinning and car boost cut one time, which is pretty odd, but it is what it is. I have to adjust something. There we go. It's only pretty good idle now. All right, so I got my weight slip from. It's actually from 2022. So let's go over these weights real quick. All right, so when it was front-wheel drive, the car was 2,040 pounds, and today it weighed in at 2,220. Obviously, you are going to be heavier adding an all-wheel drive system in your Civic, but there's a lot to unpack here, so let's just kind of go over what's going on here. For starters, obviously the weight that we are adding is a rear diff, a drive shaft, a viscous coupler, all-wheel drive diff mount kit in the rear, and the all-wheel drive transmission are going to be adding weight to the car. Now, assuming that I had the same amount of fuel in today's weight, if I had the same amount of fuel in this on the same day that I had here, now keep in mind I had like 3 gallons or 4 gallons less, so let's call it 20 pounds less to make it easier on us. So this would bring it down to 2220 with the same amount of fuel, or 2200, I'm sorry. So we'll minus about 20 pounds for easy math. And then, like I said, I had a lot of stuff in the car. It weighed in probably about 15 pounds. So that would put us at 2185, which is about 145 more pounds than this if the conditions for today's weight were replicated. So obviously, there's quite a bit of things that go into the all-wheel drive transmission. We have extra stuff like a transfer gear, and then we have a transfer case. Don't know if you guys can see it. Can't really see it, but it's got a transfer case in there. But also, In this setup, we're running a CRV diff, and dry shaft is chilling back here. There's just a Freelander setup. So Freelander viscous. That stuff surprisingly is pretty heavy. Now this is for a B series. I'm assuming a K series I would say is not much different, give or take maybe 10-15 pounds. Don't quote me on that, but it's probably not going to be a whole lot more weight or less weight than a B series. So very similar. If you have a similar setup as this car, as in like a CRV diff and a Freelander setup, you're going to probably weigh in a little. You're going to probably weigh in around the same. So let's just say 150 pounds more is what it's going to cost you to go all-wheel drive. So with that said, guys, that's going to do for today's video. Hopefully it answered some questions, cleared some things up. You know, all-wheel drive obviously is going to add weight to the car, but it's not as dramatic. I've heard people say like 200, 250 pounds and all that stuff, but realistically, at least in my case, it was 160 pounds-ish. And like I said, I have some stuff in the car that, you know, normally isn't in there. Like I had my backpack and my couple other things that probably came out to about 15 pounds. So really, we probably gained about 140, 150 pounds, which is the number I was kind of aiming for. End of the day, it's about 145 pounds additional when you go front-wheel drive to all-wheel drive in your Honda Civic. Thank you guys for watching this video, and have a good weekend. It's Friday.